The Parkrun phenomenon is known for bringing every ability together on a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. But what would it be like if I brought someone along from a totally different world? An individual who has run for Great Britain and recently returned from Seville Marathon in Spain, having achieved an absurdly fast time of 2 hours and 34 minutes.
Come on, Harry!
I had to push myself there.
Not only would this turn out to be an incredibly memorable experience, but also shocking to see what her watch said about the 5K at the end. I'm Harry Morgan, and this is a story from JOG ON.
Hello, Harry here. You find me currently driving the JOG ON van to Reading Parkrun. Phily Bowden is a GB elite runner who kindly came on the JOG ON podcast recently.
I think I've been itching to commit to doing a marathon for a couple of years.
And apart from being interrupted by her cat,
Who is now coaching. There's now a cat on my lap.
all in all, it was a fantastic conversation. She then spotted one of my videos about Parkrun, and having never run one before, said she'd like to have a go. So today at Reading Parkrun, Phily is going to run with me for her very first Parkrun.
Arriving at Thames Valley Park, I was soon joined by Phily. We discussed the course and made our way down to the river.
So Phily, obviously you've just returned from Seville Marathon. First of all, what was that experience like?
Oh my goodness, it was amazing. It was my first ever marathon in a beautiful city. Obviously very, very painful, but all in all, it was an insane experience. Loved it, can't wait to do another one.
We had the idea of either we could just run our own separate parkruns, but what would happen essentially is Phily would just go flying away and I'd be by myself. So we thought it might be quite nice for Phily's first parkrun if we actually ran together. Hopefully today, my sort of #1 goal is to just dip inside 20 minutes. If you're able to give me roughly a 6:20 mile, we'll try and hold that and we'll see how it
I can
feels.
certainly do that.
This is going to be excellent. It's Reading Parkrun here with elite runner Phily Bowden. Let's see how this goes.
Watches at the ready, we set off on a light run to loosen up and check out the course.
Just on a warm-up with Phily, and we're noticing that the ground underneath is caking the shoes a little more than we expected. Your shoe's quite heavy right now.
Yeah, it's quite sticky mud.
Both of us have agreed we're probably going to go for the trail shoe for a bit of grip. Recently running California Country Parkrun.
3, 2, 1, go!
I did make the error of going for road shoes.
Oh no.
A woman turned up with her shopping as we uncovered more worryingly speed-reducing surfaces.
If confirmation was needed whether trail shoes would be the right choice, this is suggesting that it definitely is.
We'd already covered 2.5 kilometres just in the warm-up. I should point out here, this is a big difference I've noticed. Getting in a long warm-up run before your 5K can be incredibly beneficial. Very few people really run much distance at all beforehand, and if you want to run faster, try it next time and let me know. With more runners gathering, Phily and I performed some drills and strides, followed by an announcement from the Reading Run Director, which turned out to be half announcement, half stand-up.
If anyone would like to rent their parents out, please put them down for volunteer. I can highly recommend it. It keeps them out of trouble.
Kerry did give a brief warning about the weather,
It's going to get a little bit cold and a little bit wet.
but little did we know how badly it would turn on us.
This headwind is awful.
A round of applause and we walked with other parkrunners to the start as Phily began to feel the excitement.
You might have to hold me back at the start.
I know, the thing. Phily, a little bit slower, please, Phily.
As I glanced back, I had to wonder, was this a good plan? With nothing but open grass to the side of the Thames stretching out before us, the countdown began.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
The bunch crowd opened up with a few people being dragged by eager dogs.
Okay, Reading Parkrun with Phily Bowden from Great Britain, we have begun. Just coming up to 500 metres.
Phily wasn't even breathing. Finishing the long grass section, we hit a bridge.
Thank you, Marshall.
As I began to wonder if running a sub-20 on this difficult terrain was really possible in my current shape. A group of us started to work as we hit the first kilometre.
I've got the watch on the miles.
Tapping across mud, I found Phily to be a calming influence as she glided along next to me.
Cheers, Marshall.
Apparently, I was alone in feeling hot, as of the runners in front of us, one was in a bobble hat and the other in a raincoat.
The well-maintained gravel path.
A small mid-5K goal of overtaking Dog Lady emerged, and I communicated this with Phily, who gave a military signal and executed this passing with ease as the dog's tongue flapped madly about its face. Chasing raincoat and bobble hat, we hit
4:03 on that second kilometre. Just going to try and pick it up a tiny bit. Rain just starting to come down. Phily looking smooth and strong. Harry looking not so smooth and strong.
ahead of us. First position hit the halfway mark.
Pretty horrible.
Halfway?
Just coming up to, yep, halfway.
As the rain got heavier, we also reached the turn to begin our second loop.
Halfway, 9:45.
9:45 was a great time for 2.5 kilometres and put us on for that sub-20, but could I cling to Phily and maintain it? At nearly twice her body mass, it occurred to me that shielding behind Phily as a windbreak probably wasn't an option.
Oh, I must have gone through 3k now.
3k now, yeah.
Beginning to pass other runners, Phily inquired how I was doing.
Feeling good, level out of 10.
About a 3.
It was really starting to hurt at this point.
No half measures today.
Our feet momentarily in unison, my mud-splattered calves moved in time with the jog on top. With determination, Phily and I pushed along the path and hit the back of more runners
Traffic.
as conditions got worse.
It is muddy.
Phily, plat swaying, laid down the pace as we swept past others taking on the route, sporting all manner of headgear.
Literally tipping it down. We're what, less than a K to go? Come on, Harry. The final turn. Should be able to see the finish
Thank you, Marshall.
very shortly.
This time we swung back over the bridge.
Harry's hanging on.
Just,
Ah.
this headwind is awful, and it's raining, but I'm with an elite, so you've got to be partially inspired.
First place Andrew cruised in a magnificent time of 18:22 as we battled headwind and rain in what now seemed like a never-ending stretch of open grass.
4.7k. It's going to be close.
With the clock ticking in my brain and Phily shouting encouragement, I was desperate to run under 20 minutes.
Here we go.
It had hurt too much to not get it now.
Oh, thank you, Phily. I had to push myself there. Hard. Oh, my lungs are on fire. Thank you very much.
Jog on. First ever parkrun. Pretty happy with that. That was fun, but my goodness, it was sunny when we started. And my arms are literally stinging.
How you doing?
Oh, this is me. Phily. So, it's really nice along this path. How are you feeling? So calm.
We got sub 20.
With a time of 19:44 and 19:45, we had done it with seconds to spare. But incredibly, this is what Phily's watch thought of our efforts.
My watch has told me that that was unproductive, so sorry about that.
How was that unproductive? Well, that was tough. Phily really dragged me around that. Final 5k time was 19:44, so delighted to get inside, and I am absolutely spent.
It was time to hand in Phily's first ever barcode.
My first parkrun as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Bring my own press officer, do you?
Cool, thank you very much. Cheers, thanks very much. So that was Reading Parkrun. Phily, thank you so much for pacing me. You did an excellent job. How did you find it, the whole experience? What did you think of your first parkrun?
It was really cool. I'm so glad I did it with you, and I'm glad that I was able to hold back and take everything in as well. I feel very late to the party, having only just run my parkrun.
You can tell it's a relaxed atmosphere. It was nice to show you this kind of world as well. I know you've seen bits of it, but to actually come here and be a part of a parkrun as well. You placed 6th, I got barcode number 7.
Yeah.
Delighted to get under 20, and I think you being there did make me push that little bit more. We've got to talk about the weather momentarily. We started with quite nice weather. It tipped it down. How did you find that?
Yeah, it was really bizarre, just like a 20-minute storm almost. Yeah, I made for some drama, I suppose.
Brilliant. Well, Phily, I really appreciate you coming with me. That was excellent. It was really fun to do it with you. I'm glad you got to finally your first parkrun here at Reading, which has turned out to be a really great parkrun, well organised, great volunteers, well signed, and lovely to have this nice open strip flying down the grass there. So thank you very much for watching. I'm Harry Morgan, that's Phily Bowden, and this is Jog On. Phily, how was it? Wait a moment.
It was a little bit difficult to let people kind of run off in front of me, to be honest.
I had this ever so slight fear that you'd be like, do you know what, actually I'm going to go for it. And I just see you go, whoop.